Hello and welcome to Reviews. Now, you are probably wondering, wait, Plume, why are you holding a gem in the Holograms comic? Well, I'm going to tell you a little something. I have a soft spot for Gem and the Holograms. You see, when the cartoon was originally on, I'd come home from school and flip channels and I would watch it from time to time. And it was the '80s and it fit in perfectly. It was silly and you know yeah, it was just a fun cartoon. Kind of like how She-Ra played right after He-Man. I just sit through and eat my cereal and watch it. So yeah, I've always had this kind of soft spot for Gem and the Holograms, and it's Showtime synergy, and I think it comes from growing up being a big fan of Alice Cooper and David Bowie, actual performers who used alternate identities. It was a great concept, and yeah, I was not the target audience, but it was not at the time, and it was fun. I didn't care, and I unabashedly, liked Gem. I wouldn't say I was a big fan. I couldn't really tell you any episodes off the top of my head, but I did watch it quite a bit, and IDW has done. They've been doing Gem and the Holograms comic books. Um, and I've picked up one or two and bought them and read them, and I've never covered them because I'm not the target audience, and I know that. And I feel it wouldn't be fair to cover the book, and even reviewing it, it just it didn't seem right. So I've never actually done a review on it, but IDW is doing a thing now for their 20th anniversary where they're um, taking their books and they're doing one shots, either like 20 years in the future or 20 years in the past. And we all know how well IDW is doing these days. And so the concept, I like I said, I have a soft spot for Gem and the Holograms. And then I saw Sina Grace was writing it, and I'm like, oh, huh. And I saw the cover here, which I had mistaken it, and I'm blanking out on the artist. He did the second half of the Power Girl series after Amanda Connor. He drew it. I'm blanking on his name. The one with Zantana was in it, and it dovetailed into Generation Lost. Anyway, I thought that was the artist doing the book, and it's not. So I saw the cover, with Jerica here looking, kind of unsure, and I'm like, okay, you know what? This sounds interesting. I'll go ahead and I'll check it out. So yes, I bought a Gem and the Holograms comic. Actually, when I was in the comic shop and I was flipping through it, a girl came in. I was like, "Oh, that's exactly what I was looking for." She grabbed the last copy. I was holding the second to last copy. So yeah, someone is actually buying the books, and she was really excited to get it. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and what do I think of this? Well, let's take a look. So it starts off with a little photo shoot. We got the Misfits here, pizzazz and everything, and go on to the next page and the Misfits. Now, if you remember, Gem and the Holograms had two rival bands, the Misfits and the Stingers, and the Misfits are being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and so not Gem. So it's really kind of interesting there. Ooh, only took 20 years, uh, and more singles than all these dude bro bands combined. Whatever, we made it. Can you believe our butts stuck together all these years? Yes, us, the Misfits. And here I always thought we'd be applauding Gem. Speak of they who must not be named. And here comes it's Kimber, Jerica's Gem's younger sister. She yells out for Eric, who's at the induction. Eric was the manager of the Stingers, and he was always trying to take Starlight away from Jericho. I am a straight guy. Why do I know so much about Gem and the Holograms? Anyway, we find out that he's setting up a Gem reunion tour. Did you forget, oh, say, the talent? Kimber, long time no speak. Um, So Kimber gets up in his face, I was on my way here to support Stormer of the Misfits, um, and I got a bunch of texts from my assistant that Jem is opening for the Stingers' anniversary tour. Why are you clearing usage of our songs if there's no band to play them? Oh, sweet befuddled Kimber. I have a band, all right. Well, it turns out he's going to use holograms. You know, in Japan, there's a Japanese band. I forget what the name is already. The Phantoms, yeah, obvious. The completely fictional 3D band made by a bunch of developers in Tokyo. Things that are going on like right now. They actually have similar things. So he's going to have Gem and the Holograms open for the Misfits, but as actual holograms, all of them be holograms. And she comes up, if there's going to be Pizzazz comes up, if there's going to be a moment for the tabloids, it's coming from me. What are you two making a commotion about? Your former manager is replacing Gem and the Holograms with actual holograms for the Stingers' anniversary casino tour. Don't forget that. You can't do that. I literally can. You should have considered that before you sold the majority stakes in the Starlight Music's catalog, likenesses at all. And I guess you're too busy running from your sister's messes to think about that. Okay, so, a couple pages, we have the setup. We find out, kind of like how we got here. So Eric ended up winning in the end. So we have Kimber and Stormer here going, again, kind of reuniting, You look like your standard music VP, I know. I was going to say great, actually. And so the Misfits start playing. How you doing, LA? We're ready to get off. Are you ready to get off your phones and dance your asses off? And so as they're performing their music, something happens. The Phantoms show up. Thank you. The Phantoms are here. Europa, over here. And so Pizzazz is very angry by this. Are you effing kidding me? No, this will not do. Okay, so she goes to see Jerica. And real discreet Jerica. And Rio opens the door. Rio, of course, being the boyfriend of Jerica, who was also in love with Gem. And God, why do I know so much about Gem and the Holograms? So I'm here on official business, Rio. Eric's got another sleazy scheme up his sleeve, and he wants to drag Gem and the Holograms down. So what is Jerica doing? Well, she's just kind of kicked back. And she says, Pizzazz, it's been enough time that you're dyeing those roots. Sorry, bad habit. And so what happened to Jericho? What happened to the holograms? And, she asks, can't you let the past be the past and stop trying to find new ways to torment us? So we get kind of the rundown. My fight with Kimber started after we released the Stripped Down album. I wanted to prove Gem could survive without Synergy, but it didn't really click with the listeners. Things got worse when I licensed our song Pop Rocks to that soda brand Pop Pop, right before they got bought out by one of the big cola brands. It all just went away. Our fans turned on us, thinking we signed away our songs for a paycheck. Gem and the sellouts is what the papers called us. Kimber was right, and I was too stuck thinking I knew what to do to listen to her. She never forgave me for giving the Starlight Kids to a better equipped charity. Wow. As you remember, that was another thing in the comic. She had the sirens. I told you I lived near a hospital, so I had Rio throw away all the gear and signed everything off to Eric. I didn't want to let anyone down again. You're softer than I thought. One bad album cycle and some lousy PR set you into hiding? You'd never understand. I lost my family. The girls will reach out for holidays, sure, but nothing's the same. You can't change the past, but you've got to have that 2020 hindsight. I see, 2020. Where's that? 2020. Yeah, IDW 2020. To shrug off your perpetual fear of irrelevance and focus on good music again. All I know is if I'm going toe-to-toe with any band out there, I want to be up against real humans with real talent. Yeah, I need time to think. This is like her arch rival, coming to her, complimenting her. So then we get the little scene with Rio as she's thinking about it, and Pizzazz may be right. Did I run away from everything the minute I had my faith shaken? I still miss writing. I'm still writing songs, but I miss the stage. And well, it turns out Rio did not throw away the Synergy earrings. So she puts them on, and Synergy comes back. We do have one of those moments where basically the power was inside Jericho all along. I'm downloading the recent waves of trends, and I can see this. There seems to be a glut of technology, but a true deficit of talent. Of course, you never need the illusions or me to be amazing. So yeah, she's in. She tells Pizzazz that she's in. We'll get the band back together. And so yeah, she goes around to the various other members of the Holograms who jump in. We have Shanna is she has a boutique. Yeah, we got she's a folk singer, a dance instructor. So yeah, the only one left is Kimber. And Jem has to kind of bring Kimber, her sister, mend fences, and whatever you say, I have no desire to join up. Is it because of me, or do you not want to get back in the saddle? Both? I may miss performing, but I don't miss everything around it. So, Kimber agrees to hear him out. And it turns out that they're still pretty good. And, even the Misfits, maybe a little pitchy, and, Pizzazz says, that was perfect. So, I'm not going to go too much farther, but you can probably see where this is going. Pizzazz, gets everyone tied up, and Eric's locked up, and so that the Holograms can open for the Misfits. And it turns out that they're great. People are asking if this is a comeback and what have you. And I'm just going to stop it right there. This book is... I actually liked it. This is a great concept. Now, I know they did that horrible, horrible YouTube type movie of Jem and the Hologram. Let's not talk about that. It was not outrageous, truly or otherwise. And like I said, the current comic is not aimed at me. I'm not the target audience. This, however, this I would read. You know how Archie has God, what is the adult life with Archie? What is that one called? Life with Archie, maybe? I've read some of that. I've read Afterlife with Archie. I read the beginning of that. That was pretty good. Um, but the idea of Gem and the Holograms 20 years in the future where they're all in their 40s, it's like a behind the scenes type thing, getting the band back together. And yeah, I know this is in the comic book continuity, but this still fits pretty well with the cartoon. And like I said, I flipped this up and I was like, oh yeah, I remember. I remember Kimber, and everyone was starting to come to me, and I wouldn't say I was a big fan, but I did watch the show, and I like the idea of an ongoing series of of Jam and the Holograms in their 40s. I mean, come on, the Rolling Stones are still touring. I mean, think of all the big bands going, right now. All your classics. I mean, they just announced the Who. What's left of the Who are coming to town. I just tickets just went on sale here like a week ago, and so that that's a big thing. And yeah, this is a great idea. The Gem and the Holograms, how they have to come back, and plus, with the whole Phantoms, the idea of holograms, which is something that's going on right now. Japan has um, complete, anime pop icons, and there have been that with deceased artists. Like I think they did that with Tupac. They had a hologram of him perform. And so it's kind of funny how Gem is kind of coming full circle, Gem and the Holograms. It actually was, kind of forward thinking back then. But yeah, but the idea of, middle-aged Gem and the Holograms, and maybe this is because, I was a kid when this was, you know, um, when this cartoon was out, kind of grown up with it, I guess. It's an interesting concept to me. And like I said, it still fits in pretty well, with the cartoon. You could see it as like even if they did it as, two continuities, the IDW, their Gem, And then like 20 years later, where it's basically the cartoon Gem, where I didn't really show Gem, they do show her in her hologram form. And it's not quite like the big hair, 80s hair, but if they did it in that continuity, that would be fun. And yeah, you can have um the fact that Gem and the Holograms fell apart. The Misfits are the ones that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And yeah, how they have to try and climb back on top, and their old enemies are kind of frenemies now. You know, yeah, that's I enjoyed this. Okay, the book it's simple. The storyline is simple. It does have some kind of dark things. It reads a lot like a behind the music, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I'm giving this an 11 o'clock. I never thought I would like this book. Yeah, I picked it up thinking, okay, Sina Grace, yeah, it's IDW. Oh, this is going to be bad, and I at least for even if I didn't do a video on it, I knew it'd be badly entertaining for myself, and I liked it. It was it was pretty good, and it's even if you think of the whole current IDW gem, being aimed at female readers, even younger female readers. This is more power, because you have the whole older women, middle-aged women, and they're still kicking ass. I'm good with this. I'm good at 11 o'clock. Because like I said, I'm not really the target audience, I don't think, and the story was pretty simple. It was kind of by the numbers, but it was fun, and that's all I ask. Enjoyable, fun, exciting, and this was fun. I liked this book, so I can't believe I'm recommending it. Uh, so yeah, I gotta work late tomorrow, so you might get another lab video. I might do a video from my lab because, oh god, I have Avengers. I have crotch pick Iron Fist ready and rolling. So, all right, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. And am I silly? Am I silly for liking this? Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.